The opulence, the splendour of Matlock House was intoxicating, just as Elizabeth remembered it from exactly 1 year ago that evening, 12th night, an occasion which held such magical memories for her, for it was then that she first experienced Darcy's intimate touch, and his lips pressed softly against her skin. The vast and colourful array of costumes and masks provided apt anonymity for the guests. Intimately ensconced amongst the jubilant party revellers, Darcy spoke to his wife in a manner that only she would hear. "I feel it is incumbent upon me to tell you that it is my intention to remain close to you this evening." He raised her hand to his lips and bestowed a soft kiss. "I fully intend to make love to you several times throughout the night." "Are you reading my mind, Mr. Darcy?" "I believe I am, which leads me to a second pronouncement. I insist you dance with no one but me." He kissed the palm of her hand. "I am not of a mind to wait about when the mood arises." "You will likely suffer disappointment in that, I fear. Jane is our guest. She barely knows anyone here. I find it unpardonable to consider abandoning her." "She knows Richard." Elizabeth looked at her husband with dismay. Before she could manage a response, none other than Richard himself approached Jane to request the next set. Darcy could see that his wife was not pleased with the development. Despite her truce with Jane, it was evident she was not in favour of her continuing friendship with Richard. Elizabeth was proceeding to set off after her sister, when Darcy grabbed hold of her hand and would not release it. "What exactly do you intend to do, my love?" "I mean to put a stop to this foolishness once and for all." "Your sister is not a child. I fear you risk alienating her if you continue to distrust her to know her own mind." "I do feel a certain responsibility towards protecting her, as should you." "She is in no harm from Richard. You, on the other hand, are in great danger from me." Darcy sprinkled light kisses along her neckline. "Sir, remember yourself, please. What do you suppose people might say?" "That I cannot keep my hands off my wife? Is that so bad?" "Our first public appearance in town, I should say so." "Ah, but our identities are fully disguised. To unknowing eyes, we might be anyone." Darcy kissed her hand. "Come with me, my love." Elizabeth's passions stirred from the moment he closed the library door. She watched as he turned the key, then smiled as he approached her, each step heightening her anticipation of what was to come, rendering him closer and closer till there was little space between them. "This will be a night I shall never forget." Their masks removed, Elizabeth thought of him as being the most devastatingly handsome man she had ever seen. He took her hand in his and raised it to his lips, stirring urgings deep inside of her. He whispered in her ear his mission, to love her as he had never before done. With no one other than the two of them locked inside the room, there was hardly a need to whisper. He meant to captivate her. He did. Darcy recalled the first time Elizabeth and he were alone in that very room. Then she was his forbidden fruit. Now she was his, forevermore his wife, the love of his life. Darcy stood in the exact spot as before, so close to her, his hands around her waist, holding her tightly. He lightly brushed his lips against hers, tenderly and reverently, as if it were their first kiss. She looked amazing, as beautiful as he ever recalled. He spoke her name softly. "Elizabeth." He swept his fingers along her neck, her chin. He slowly brushed her cheek and ran his thumb over her lower lip, resting it there. "Do you ever fantasize, my love?"